Okay, good morning, everybody. In the last few classes, we discussed various signal conditioning devices used in mechatronic systems, wherein we studied different types of amplifiers, different types of filters, different types of protection devices, and different types of converters, A to D converters, D to A converters. And then we saw some of the display devices, LED type display, LCD type displays, and thereafter we studied some of the types of printers, like how the dot matrix printer works, how the inkjet printer works, how the bubble jet printer works, and how the laser printer works. In the final phase of our second unit, that is data acquisition system, we are going to discuss today. Now, as you can see, our sensors will be generating, sensors and transducers will be generating signals in the processes. Now try to visualize a situation like I have a pharmaceutical process industry, let us say. And therein, I have a centralized controller which controls the entire reaction control of a particular formulation. एखादा औषध आहे, त्याचं फॉर्म्युलेशन, 3 त्याचे वेगवेगळे इन्ग्रेडियंट्स आहेत, त्या 3 वेगवेगळ्या इन्ग्रेडियंट्सचं कॉम्बिनेशन जेव्हा रिॲक्शन चेंबर मध्ये होईल, तेव्हा the required tablet or required syrup, the required composition I am going to get. आणि नंतर मग त्याचं पॅकिंग झालं, त्याच्यावर प्रिंटिंग झालं आणि मग डिस्पॅच झालं, अशी एक प्रोसेस आहे. तर before the reaction chamber, let us say I'll be having 3 flow lines, wherein chemical A, chemical B, chemical C, or drug A, drug B, drug C will be coming to the reaction chamber at various flow rates, at various pressures, at various concentrations. आणि मग त्याचं एक प्रमाणात मिक्सचर होईल. त्याच्याही आधी आपल्याला असं म्हणता येईल की त्याचे रॉ मटेरियल आहे, त्याचं पल्वरायझेशन, पावडरिंग होईल, आणि नंतर all these ingredients, ingredient A, ingredient B, ingredient C, they come to the reaction chamber, and at certain pressure, temperature conditions, at certain concentration conditions, those are mixed together and allowed to react so that a required compound is obtained. अशी समजा सिच्युएशन असेल. Then why I told you this example? तर आपली एक समजूत अशी असू शकते की बाबा एकच माझ्याकडे सेन्सर सिग्नल आहे, एक लेवल बघतो किंवा प्रेशर बघतो, आणि मग त्याचं मी कम्पेअरिंग इट विथ सेट व्हॅल्यू, आणि मग त्याचं ऍम्प्लिफिकेशन झालं, आणि मग त्याचं कंट्रोल ऍक्शन डिफाईन होईल, आणि मग त्याचं ऍक्च्युएशन झालं, आणि मग फीडबॅक मिळाला. अशी आपली एक धारणा असू शकेल. आय टोल्ड यू दिस एक्झाम्पल स्पेसिफिकली बिकॉज इन रिअल लाईफ इंडस्ट्रीज there is a need of simultaneous control of hundreds of parameters, not just single parameter, hundreds of parameters, and on real time basis. सकाळपासून जी प्रोसेस लाईन सुरू झाली, कंटिन्युअस त्याला प्रेशरचा पण डेटा पाहिजे, फ्लोचा पण डेटा पाहिजे, कॉन्सन्ट्रेशनचा पण डेटा पाहिजे, फोर्सचा पण डेटा पाहिजे, लिनियर स्पीडचा डेटा पाहिजे, फोर्स, वेगवेगळे प्रेशरचा डेटा पाहिजे. आणि in that particular reaction chamber, that process is to be monitored on real time basis, on continuous basis. मग अशा वेळेला what I require is, I require a multiplexer. Multiplexer मध्ये I have analog multiplexer and a digital multiplexer. Multiplexerचं काम काय? MUX ज्याला म्हणतो आपण, MUX multiplexer. Multiplexer will receive signals from the sensors and transducers, multiple sensors and transducers. It all depends on किती inputs माझ्याकडे multiplexer आहे. Hundreds of inputs it can receive. आणि मग पण असं नाही की hundreds of inputs आहेत म्हणजे माझ्याकडे मायक्रो प्रोसेसर पण hundreds पाहिजेत, सिग्नल कंडिशनिंग डिव्हाइसेस पण hundreds पाहिजेत. नो, नॉट नेसेसरली. कारण रिअल टाइम मध्ये डेटा जरी येत असेल तरी त्याचं प्रोसेसिंग मला थोडासा टाइम लॅप्सने करता येऊ शकतं. So my multiplexer will receive those multiple input signals from sensors, transducers, and then in a phased time manner, एका वेळेला एक signal that is received from transducer 1, sensor transducer 1, sensor transducer 2, that will go to my signal conditioning devices, maybe an amplifier in the initial phase, and then maybe A to D converter. आणि मग ते डिजिटल सिग्नल जे अनालॉग टू डिजिटल कन्वर्जन झालेले सिग्नल, इट विल गो टू द प्रोसेसर. प्रोसेसर in this case will be my control, will be doing the function of the controller. Make the controller will process these input signals, conditioned input signals, and then it will generate an output based on my control logic. जे काही मला पर्टिक्युलर केस ऑफ फार्मास्युटिकल इंडस्ट्रीचं मला जे कंपोजिशन पाहिजे, the concentration data me constantly I'm getting through my sensors, transducers. मग हा कंट्रोलर मायक्रोप्रोसेसर काय करणार, whether the obtained data of concentration of a given formulation is matching with my set value of concentration. If yes, it will generate the control signal accordingly. If it is not matching, it will give the output in such a way that the corrective action can be taken, right? And it can be done in a real-time control manner. Okay, so this is how multiple parameters can be controlled, can be monitored, can be processed in a big industry, process industry. Take the case of from steel industry मध्ये कास्ट इनगॉट्स गेले आणि त्याचं 12 स्टेज मध्ये रोलिंग व्हायचंय, आणि देन फ्रॉम द स्पायगॉट जो माझा जो स्लॅब आहे स्टीलचा, त्याच्यापासून मला एक 12 गेजचे 100 शीट्स तयार करायचे, 16 गेजचे 100 शीट्स तयार करायचे, मे बी ऑफ द साइज 4x8, जी काही माझी रिक्वायरमेंट आहे त्याप्रमाणे the process parameters are set by the controller. आणि मग तो इनगॉट तिकडून कंटिन्युअस प्रोसेस मध्ये आला, त्यानंतर इट विल डू द रोलिंग अँड री-रोलिंग वर्क इन नंबर ऑफ स्टेजेस and till the required thickness of the sheet is obtained in my sheet rolling mill. तसेच I section आहे, C section manufacturing आहे. स्टील इंडस्ट्री मध्ये पण, कंटिन्युअस प्रोसेस इंडस्ट्री मध्ये पण I need control of number of parameters. मग थिकनेस कंट्रोल आहे, रोलर प्रेशर आहे, the temperature of the sheet आहे, so that the microstructure, the required microstructure can be obtained. आपण TTT diagram बघितली, right? ते microstructure किंवा material properties should also be maintained at the same time. Okay, so multiple parameters are to be controlled simultaneously. So there I require this data acquisition system and data processing system. Now, as you can see in DAQ, data acquisition system ला आपण DAS म्हणतो किंवा DAQ म्हणतो. AQ for acquisition, right? DAQ inputs, in DAQ inputs from sensors are converted into digital form for processing, analysis and display by a computer. The system thus contains sensors, wiring to connect the sensors to signal conditioning, to carry out filtering and amplification, DAQ hardware to carry out functions as conversion of input to digital format and conversion of output signals to analog format for control systems, the computer and DAQ software. Software carries out analysis of the digital input signals. Application software like LabVIEW can be used to assist in the designing of mechatronic systems and the analysis of the data. अशा पद्धतीनं LabVIEW सारखा सॉफ्टवेअर वापरून this acquired data can be appropriately processed and given to the computer. Then I have a data logger, as you can see in the diagram. I have various digital input obtained from my sensor transducer. So I have, just now I told you regarding the multiplexer, digital multiplexer आहे. तसेच analog signals पण माझे बरेचसे आहेत. एक एक्झाम्पल दिलेलं आहे थर्मोकपल. थर्मोकपल 3 ठिकाणच्या लोकेशन टेम्परेचर देते आणि that signal which is analog is given to analog multiplexer. आणि मग आउटपुट तेवढे आहेत का? नाही. Output is only one. म्हणजे in real time phased manner that output will be one by one, it will be processed as and when required. मग डिजिटल जर सिग्नल असेल तर डिजिटल मल्टिप्लेक्सर काय करणार, वन बाय वन that sampled digital signal will be given to my microprocessor. Directly digital असल्यामुळे the microprocessor can receive the digital signal directly. Okay. But in case of analog signals cannot be directly given to my digital microprocessor or microcontroller. It is needed to be converted appropriately. As we have studied in our signal conditioning devices, that signal is amplified. Then that analog signal, it is analog signal. This analog signal is converted into digital form through A to D converters, and then it is given to my microprocessor or microcontroller, right? Microcontroller, it can have the set values through my program inputs, or the microprocessor or microcontroller can be controlled through a remote control devices. But एवढंच नाही की microprocessor can receive only input signals. It can generate the output signal. एकदा cycle सुरू झालं, the microprocessor can control the amplifier gain also. The microprocessor can control the signals for multiplexers also, right? म्हणजे जे त्याला signal मिळतंय त्याच्यावर पण microprocessor or microcontroller can have control, right? And then एकदा A to D digital signal आलं, that will be processed by the microprocessor or microcontroller, and then either it is displayed or it is given to the actuator, as the case may be. Either it is displayed through the display devices, or if the data is there, it is to be printed, it is given to the printer. In earlier cases, hard disk नसायची, floppy drive असायची, floppy disk, the data is given to the floppy drive, or other recording system असू शकते. तिथं तो data will be sent by my microprocessor. Okay. So the term data logger is used for data acquisition systems which are able to be used away from a computer, right? म्हणजे शॉप फ्लोर लांब, माझे कंट्रोल पॅनल बरंच लांब आहे आणि डेटा लॉगर काय करतो, त्याला डेटा अक्वायर करायचा आहे, प्रोसेस करायचा आहे, इट इज टू बी सेंड टू माय कम्प्युटर. जो इट इज ॲट सम डिस्टन्स. जसं आपल्या कॉलेजमध्ये वर्कशॉपमध्ये सगळा तिथं मशीनिंग चालू आहे आणि तिथला डेटा, माझे सीएनसी मशीन तिथं आहे, तिथला डेटा, आणि इन माय केबिन आय एम सिटिंग controlling the process. So data logger will collect the data, process the data on a preliminary basis. An appropriate signal through my LAN network can be sent to my cabin, from where I can control the entire process. So what the term data logger is used for DAQ, that is data acquisition systems, which are able to be used away from a computer. Once the program has been set by a computer, it can be put into a memory card, which can be inserted into the logger and have the program downloaded to it from a computer, so enabling it to carry out the required DAQ functions. So this is briefly regarding data logger systems. This completes our unit number 2, friends, and we'll have a brief introduction of unit number 3 today, and then in details in coming lectures we'll discuss more details. Now this unit number 3 corresponds to various types of drives. If you just look back at our block diagram for mechatronic systems, so we had unit 1, sensors, transducers; unit 2, signal conditioning devices. In signal conditioning, you have input signal conditioning, you have output signal conditioning. Then in signal conditioning, we had various amplifiers, various filtering devices, various A to D converters, D to A converters, various display devices, various printing devices, and then finally various data acquisition systems, various types of multiplexers, various types of data logging devices. That was there in our signal conditioning. You need to study it at home. As I told you, you need to refer Bolton's book. Mainly whatever material I have shown it to you is from the book Mechatronics by Bolton, which is already there in our Google Classroom. We'll move further to unit number 3. Various types of drives we'll be studying. We'll be studying electrical drives, we'll be studying mechanical drives, right? Various types of drives. Hydraulic drives we'll be studying, pneumatic drives we'll be studying. Some of the hydraulic and pneumatic circuitries also we'll be studying. These drives act as our actuating elements in a mechatronic system, right? We'll briefly study the electrical drives today. Okay. Electrical drives will be, we already studied some of these switching devices like relays, solid state switches, diodes, thyristors, and transistors, where the control signal switches on or off some electrical device, perhaps a heater or a motor. Okay. Some solenoid devices also come under electrical drive, where a current through a solenoid is used to actuate a soft iron core. For example, solenoid operated hydraulic pneumatic valve, where a control current through a solenoid is used to actuate a hydraulic or pneumatic flow. Right? These are some of the elements of my electrical drive. And proper electrical drives we'll be studying, such as DC motors, AC motors, some stepper motors, some synchronous motors we'll be studying briefly, where a current through a motor is used to produce rotation and torque, right? So electric motors to begin with. These electrical motors are frequently used as the final control element in a positional control system or a speed control system. It is also called as my servo control system, right? Positional or speed control systems. Motors can be classified into two main categories, that is DC motors and AC motors, that is direct current motors and alternating current motors. Most motors used in modern control systems are DC motors, right? It's possible to divide DC motors into two main groups, brush type DC motors and brushless type DC motors. Now these DC motors, friends, in mechatronic systems, it is very essential for all of us to understand the working of these DC motors, because nowadays the automobiles are turning from internal combustion engines into the electrical vehicles. So those may be battery operated electrical vehicles or solar operated electrical vehicles. So there also my drive elements are motors, and mostly these motors are DC motors. So if we understand the concept of all these motors properly, we can extend this knowledge for some good projects related to electrical vehicles as well. So we have brush type DC motors. In this rotor has the coil winding, and the stator can be either a permanent magnet or an electromagnet. Stator, it can be a permanent magnet or an electromagnet. Permanent magnet म्हणजे काय? त्याला काय परत winding वगैरे नाही. That material itself is acting as a magnet. I have a south pole and north pole, right? That is my stator. And then the rotor I have, and the rotor has the windings. Okay, right? This is one. Stator has got permanent magnet or electromagnet म्हणजे काय? तो magnet पण जो आहे, that will become a magnet only after supply of electricity. मग त्या स्टेटर मध्ये पण वाइंडिंग असतील. त्याचं काम काय? To generate magnetic field. Power supply दिल्यानंतरच it will act as a magnet. So that is the electromagnet, right? The stator is the electromagnet, and the coil windings are provided on the rotor, right? Here the power supply is given to the rotor through the brushes, right? We'll study that in details. And the second variety of my DC motors is brushless type of DC motors. In this, the arrangement is reversed. The rotor is a permanent magnet. Rotor brush type मध्ये काय होतं? Stator was a permanent magnet. In brushless type DC motors, rotor is a permanent magnet and the stator has the coil winding. So these brush type DC motors and brushless type DC motors we'll discuss in details in the next class, friends. We'll stop for today.